Hey everybody, Crystal Gamer here, and welcome to my channel where today we are doing a content creation CC video today on how to put stuff on shirts. This will add to the rest of the custom content creation videos I have, so definitely check out the playlist if you haven't already. Someone watched the playlist and asked for me to do this specifically, how to put things on shirts. So that's what we're looking at today. As you can see, I'm already in Sims 4 Studio. This video does not go over how to download Sims 4 Studio. I may talk about it a little bit in one of the other CC creation videos. I can't quite remember, but the link will be down below. And I am in version 3.1.4.9 wishes right now, so we know where I am. And we are doing cast creation, which means that we're going to click this little cast button, and we are on create cast standalone is what it defaults to, and that's what we're going to go with. So we're just going to click the cast button, and I want a t-shirt, and I already ran through this, so it's defaulting to female and clothing top because I already went through it once, and so we're already there, so I don't have to scroll through all this other junk. Here's the t-shirt I want. I'm just going to click on that t-shirt, click next. And again, because I already went through this is very nice in that it puts you wherever you were the last time you were in here. So I was already under my Sims mods and stuff folder, my CC shirt creation video, because again, I already ran through this once. And so it puts me in this spot here. Now this is for naming the entire package. So this is going to be your final project. So what I typically do, and I think what most CC creators typically do, is they name it either with their name or something that has to do with their name. I usually use KG because that's kind of my logo and everything. So for my Crystal Gamer. So I'm going to call it KG, I don't know, stuff on shirts or something like that. There we go. I may change that name later to something that makes more sense, but for right now, we'll just leave that as that. Okay, so I hit next. It takes me into this little area and shows me our sim with the t-shirt and all of that. Moving around in this thing, in this window, is odd and awkward, and I cover it in one of the other CC creation videos, so definitely check out the playlist. I'm not going to re-go over it here because we already covered it there. But so for this to start, we have to export. That's always going to be the first thing that we do. So we're going to export this shirt. And I'm going to hit the little export button. Again, it's nice enough to take me to the same spot that I was at. And I am just going to call this white shirt because that's all it is. So then I'm going to click save. And now it's nice enough to open this up for me. And we can see in here, I have my KG stuff on shirts package is already here. So that's going to be my final product. And here is the white shirt I just saved. Now I do my editing in Photoshop. So I am going to open this in Photoshop. I happen to be a photographer. It's the application I'm most comfortable in. You can use whatever application you are most comfortable in. I would say provided it has layers. As long as you have the ability to work with layers, you can do pretty much all of this stuff. But so some of the stuff might be a little bit different in here if you're in a different application, but it's all kind of similar. Whatever I'm doing in here, you should be able to do in whatever paint or art application you use. So, all right, so this is what our file looks like when it's open, which is a little bit awkward, right? For those that aren't familiar with Photoshop, all these little gray boxes that are back here, this is indicating transparency. So there's actually nothing there. The only place that anything exists is where the shirt actually exists on the screen. So if I zoom in here, I'm doing Control Plus to do that for anyone that is curious. We can see the front and back of the shirt. And this we can tell is the front because it's a little bit dark on the sides. We have boobage, right? So it's a little bit light at the top of the boobs and a little bit dark on the sides. So that's how we can tell on the female shirts. On the male shirts, it's a little bit less noticeable, but I believe it's pretty much always front is left, back is right. These here are the sleeves. If you're ever unsure, just recolor something and import it, and you'll see which part of the clothing object you're working with. So, okay. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So, all right. So we want to put something on this shirt, and this is so super duper easy. I am going to bring a file in that I am going to pull from this folder over here. So I downloaded these things earlier. I think I'm going to go with the crown and make this kind of like a team shirt. So that way I can show you front and back. So this one looks like the most like a potential sports, like this is like Team Queens or something, right? And so, all right, so we have this, whoops, I didn't mean to size it yet. So I put it in here and I was able to just drag it. Photoshop allows me to drag it. Your application may or may not. And then in Photoshop, I've got to click the check just to say, yes, I accept that transformation there. The next thing that I do in here, and I did not, by the way, do this in my other CC videos because I'm a photographer. It's not something we do often, but I'm going to right click and convert this to a smart object. I didn't even think about it in the other CC videos. What smart object conversion does is make it so that you can size your object down and it won't lose all kinds of quality. It won't get all pixelated and all of that. So we're going to size this down and put it over the back of the shirt for Team Queens here, just like that. I think that looks pretty good. One thing that is worth noting is the size of stuff in here is a little bit different than when you get it on the sim. Objects in here are smaller than they appear is probably a good way to put it. You'll get it on the sim, it'll look a little bit bigger. And all right, I'm going to make a copy of this, which is just dragging and doing the plus in Photoshop. And then I'm just going to move it over and I'm going to move it to the front. And then I'm going to make it even smaller. Let me zoom in a little bit. That's Control plus on this. And I'm going to put it kind of up here so that it is at the corner of the shirt, and I'll just hit yes, and there it is. Now see, even with it being a smart object, that's just little tiny bit fuzzy, but it's because it's so tiny. But it's not, I mean, it's not terrible. It's certainly much better than it would be if we didn't convert it to a smart object. Okay, so now we have our shirt pretty much the way we want it to look, our little Team Queens shirt. Now we're going to export as PNG. So quick export PNG in Photoshop and however it is in your application. I do believe it allows 3 different file types. I personally always use PNG. On the Studio download site, it says the other file types. So go there and check that out if you don't like working with PNG. So all right, I'm going to save this here. I'm just going to call it crown because I'm so innovative. And there we go. That is saved. Now I'm going to go back to Sims 4 Studio. All right, we are back in Sims 4 Studio with our white t-shirt, and now we are going to import the shirt that we just made. So I'm going to click this import button down here, and conveniently it opens up that same folder we've been playing with, and I'm going to import the thing we just made, which I called crown, and I'm going to click open, and there we go. There's the crown on the front and the crown on the back, and you can see it kind of looks a little bit bigger here than it did before. And I don't like the position of the crown on the front. So you may say, well, how do you fix that? Oh, so easily. We just go back in and just make the changes and then just re-export is basically all we're going to do. So I'm just going to take this, move this down a little bit. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but in here, it looks almost too straight. It looks like it needs to be angled a little bit, right? So I'm also going to angle that just a touch, just like that. And say, okay, now I'm going to export this again. Quick export as PNG. Same thing, I'm just going to overwrite that crown file. Click yes. We're going back into Studio. I'm going to re-import the crown file. Click open. And there it is. And now see with the tilt, it actually looks straighter on her, doesn't it? At least to me. I don't know. To my eye, it actually looks straighter when I tilted it in Photoshop. And so there's the whole thing. And that is how easy it is to put something on shirts. Now, there is one more thing I have to tell you before we go, and that is your color swatches. I go over this in the other CC videos, but it's very important. If you add a color to this, you probably want to say, okay, now we're going to add black. So we're going to add that here. So we're going to add another swatch to show that this shirt is now white and black. Then we're going to go into categories. And we're going to make sure that the black is checked. I had done this before. I apologize. It was only white to start, but we're going to make sure that the black is checked so that when we save this, we are able to search on either black or white and this shirt will come up in the catalog. So, all right, so I'm going to click save and it is going to say your package has been saved. And now your next step is to move it over into your mods folder. So what you want to move over is your main package file. And you want to move it to Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 4 Mods. That's typically where it is. So you want to make sure that's copied and pasted, get it over there. I already have mine over there, so I'm not going to redo it. And then once you do that, we can take a look at it in game. Okay, so we are now in game, and this is our sim with our shirt. She's Team Queens here. So she's got the shirt on, and I think it looks pretty good, actually. I like it. Hope you guys like it too. And if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you enjoy Sims videos, tutorials, builds, all that good stuff, make sure you subscribe. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Hope to see you all back again next time. Bye now.